Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. We're so happy to have everybody here with us tonight at Congregation Beth-El. We're going to begin services in just a moment. And we're so happy to have everybody. I'm Cantor Melissa Cohen. And we are so happy to have everybody here in our beautiful sanctuary. And we welcome everybody on our live stream. And for those of you who are on our live stream with us, I will invite you to open up a new tab and make sure that you are able to join us for davening and for prayer. Make sure that you are on our virtual resources so that you are able to download a digital copy of our Kol HaNeshama prayer book. And if you are with us here in the sanctuary, that you have a copy of our Kol HaNeshama Siddur, which we will be using for prayer tonight. We are going to begin our service and going to invite everyone to join me on page 13. And we'll begin with a song of welcome and a song of peace. Shalom Aleichem, page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Leshalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nile Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidkem Leshalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We welcome Shabbat with the warmth and the light of candles. We'll join together with the candle lighting blessing on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, source of light, our God, sovereign of all worlds, who has made us holy with your mitzvot and commanded us to kindle the Shabbat light. We welcome Shabbat with song and with praise, so we'll continue our service on page 21 with Psalm 95. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, lekadma lefanav betoda. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, bis mihirot nari alo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol hakol Elohim. אשר בידו מקרי ארץ ותועפות הרים לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. Sing out to God a new song, sing out to Adonai, all the earth, singing and blessing God's name together. We sing and join together Psalm 96 on page 25, Shiru Ladonai. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shiru l'Adonai, shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru vagoyim kevodo v'chol ha'amim nifleotav, ki gadol Adonai umulal meod, norau al kol Elohim. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. In Kabbalat Shabbat, in welcoming Shabbat and getting ready and preparing for Shabbat, the main section, the main part of this time, this moment, is welcoming Shabbat as a bride, as a queen, and we get so excited for this moment, and then we burst out into this beautiful song, this beautiful poem called L'Chadodi. So I'll ask you to join with me in the first 4 verses on page 41, 43, and then we'll all rise together on page 47 to face the door and greet the bride, this beautiful queen of Shabbat, and sing the final verse together. I'll give you a cue for that. But for now, you'll join me with the opening verses on page 41, L'Chadodi. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor bedibur echad, hishmi'anu el meyuchad. Adonai echad ushemo echad, l'shemu tiferet v'litehila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haveracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machsheva techila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, umitzeim mitoch pecha. Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha, ve'hu yachamol alayichem la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קורבה נפשי גאלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. We'll all rise and greet Shabbat as a bride and face the back of the sanctuary. Bo'י בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם הסגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. And now that we have welcomed Shabbat as the Shabbat bride, as Shabbat queen, we can all say Shabbat Shalom to one another. And we have all gathered, of course, for a simcha tonight. We'll have a baby naming very soon. And we'll say how great it is for brothers and sisters, family and friends to be with each other. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat Shalom. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Our formal call to worship, our formal prayer begins on page 57, and I will invite you all to rise in body or in spirit with the Baruch. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Let's join together in the reading on page 60. Praised are you, God, ruler of the universe, who has ordained the rhythm of life. The day with its light calls to activity and the exertion. But when the day wanes, when with the setting of the sun colors fade, we cease from our labors and welcome the tranquility of the night, the subdued light of the moon and the stars, the darkness and the stillness about us invite rest and repose. Trustfully we yield to the quiet of sleep, for we know that while we are unaware of what goes on within and around us, our powers of body and mind are renewed. Therefore, at this evening hour, we seek composure of spirit. We give thanks for the day and its tasks, for the night and its rest. Praised are you, God, who brings on the evening. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hamari v'aravim. We'll turn to page 63 for Ahavat Olam. God's gift to the people Israel is the Torah, and we give thanks for Torah in Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו וקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך לא תסור ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Well, this is the moment where we would normally recite the Shema, which we will do in just a moment. But first, we are going to have a baby naming, and we are going to offer blessings for a new life, the gift of new life into our congregation. And then we will offer our normal Shema and V'ahavta during that moment. Well, we are delighted to welcome Liz and David Bracamontes on this Shabbat with their beautiful daughter, Charlotte Reese, who will soon receive her Hebrew name and special blessings. We wish a special mazel tov to Charlotte's grandparents, Adele and Gary Sachs and Robin Sachs, along with Antonia and David Bracamontes. Charlotte is blessed with 4 great-grandparents joining us on the live stream, I am told, tonight from Arizona and Mexico. So mazel tov to Fran and Al Sachs, and felicidades, I hope I got that right, to Aureliano Bracamontes and Carolina Borciaga. It is so wonderful to have such a deeply rooted family here at the shul with Charlotte's many aunts and uncles and cousins, friends and family all joining us tonight from near and far. We are so pleased to be standing on the same bima where Liz and her family have celebrated many simchas here at Beth-El Tzedek, where she grew up, became bat mitzvah and was confirmed, and no doubt Beth-El Tzedek has the Jewish values here, and no doubt that Beth-El Tzedek and her Jewish values are at the core, and now with the extended Sachs and Bracamontes families. As Charlotte is one of our littlest campers this summer in our early childhood program, and will begin her formal studies as a kanish in the fall at our preschool. Family is, of course, what brought David and Liz back home again in Indiana as they yearned to start their lives together here, where family is. They met online in their senior year of college, and they've been inseparable since. Liz and David were married on December 8th, 2019. David, of course, is a civil engineer for the state, and Liz is a regional study coordinator for clinical drug trials. Liz and David welcomed Charlotte just about a year ago on June 29th, so we're almost celebrating Charlotte's 1-year birthday, and we are all overjoyed to have them as part of our community and look forward to sharing many more simchas on this bima together. Well, I spoke with Liz and David recently, and they tell me that parenthood has been a dream and that they are both elated to be parents to Charlotte, who is a happy baby, a good sleeper, although she did not nap today, I am told, and already shows a kind and gentle spirit about her. Liz shared with me that David is a natural at being a father, and it's like she has fallen in love with him all over again as they journey through parenthood together. David remarked how such a small little person can brighten your day in an instant, and keep you so entertained bringing out the kid in all of us. He shared with me how proud he is of Liz and watching her become an amazing mom, and also growing even more in love with his wife. Truly, the love shared in this family is palpable. May it continue to grow from generation to generation, L'dor Vador. Well, in this week's Parsha, the Maftir in particular, we read very familiar words that are part of the daily recitation of the Shema and V'ahavta, which we will be reading in just a few moments. In the third paragraph, which we typically recite quietly in our morning prayers, you might see that people have already gathered their tzitzit, their fringes that hang at the bottom of their talit, and then they bring them to their lips to kiss them, specifically 3 times at the mention of the word tzitzit in the text. On the one hand, the text in itself is a commandment written in the imperative, and by this point in the narrative, they've been coming out fast and furious, these commandments that we're getting. It says, Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei vigdehem l'dorotam. Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout all the generations. Easy enough, no problem. Why? Well, Torah says, Uritem oto uzkartem et kol mitzvot Adonai ve'asitem otam, and look at it, the fringes, and recall all the commandments of Adonai and observe them. And then we typically join in together with the familiar words, which we're going to do in just a few minutes. Lema'an tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem. And so you shall be reminded to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I, Adonai, am your God. Well, our sages tell us that the simple and tangible fringes we carry on our garments serve as the visual reminder to remember the doing, that seeing leads to remembering, and remembering leads to doing. Furthermore, that the purpose of remembering is not to shape our belief, but to guide our behavior. I think about David's observation about parenthood, how a little human can bring so much happiness in an instant. Watching her smile, watching her giggle, sharing the joy or the mess or the chaos of bath time or bedtime routines are all our tzitzit in this generation, causing us to pause and do good and behave the way that we should for the sake of our children, because we know they are watching, and they are listening, and remembering too for the next generation. So that's my blessing. May Charlotte Reese be a reminder. May she be the fringes, the talit, of all that is good in this world as we shape it for the next generation on this day that she becomes a daughter in the house of Israel. So it is now my honor to call upon Liz and David to bring up their daughter, Charlotte Reese. Oh, I know. Just start, come close to the microphone.
We have been blessed with the gift of new life. We have shared love and pain and joy in bringing our daughter into life, and have been privileged to participate in the marvel and beauty of creation.
By the way in which we live, we aspire to teach our daughter to become a caring and loving person. We hope that in seeking to fulfill herself, she will also accept her responsibilities to others and to her heritage.
Blessed is the holy
Source of life, who causes parents to rejoice with their children.
God and Creator, happy parents come into your presence to voice the longings of their hearts in prayer. Give them the wisdom to teach their child to be faithful to the heritage of the household of Israel. Keep open the eyes of her spirit wonder of your world, and let her learn to nourish the goodness that has been implanted within her. Grant her health of mind and strength of body, that she may enjoy fullness of years and live to do your will in faithfulness. And we say, Amen.
In the presence of this circle of loved ones and friends, we give our daughter the name Charlotte Reese Bracamontes, in Hebrew, Nahama Rivka Bat David Yitzhak Beersheva Leah.
We have chosen to name our daughter after two very important people who unfortunately... We have chosen to name our daughter after two very important people who, unfortunately, while they are not here with us in person, they are certainly here with us in spirit. Charlotte is named after her great-uncle, Nathan Sachs, and her great-great-grandmother, Rena Diamond. Both Nathan and Rena exemplified so many beautiful characteristics that we hope to instill in our daughter. We hope Charlotte gets the faith and loyalty to God that Nate carried every day, his wisdom and wit he carried into every conversation, his passion for putting others before himself, and his ability to gain the attention of a room with his presence. We hope Charlotte gets the outgoing and silly nature of Rena, her bright nature not only in how she carries herself, but also in her clothes, her ability to love even from a distance, and her smile that could change a good day from a bad one. Most importantly, we chose two people to name our daughter after who we know without a shadow of a doubt would love her unconditionally and provide only the best guidance in her journey through life. Nate and Rena, you are so incredibly missed and loved, and we are so very blessed to have the best pieces of both of you in our daughter.
May Charlotte Bracamontes, Nahama Rivka become a name respected and honored for wisdom and good deeds.
As parents, we commit ourselves to be her models and guides. May God's blessings rest upon our daughter now and always.
You can sit right next to me, Mishaberach imotenu Sarah v'Rivka Rachel v'Leah u'Miriam Hanavi'ah Ruth v'Avigail v'Esther Hamalka hu yavarich et hayalda hana'ima hazot v'yigrei shama b'Yisrael Nahama Rivka bat David Yitzchak ve'Elisheva Leah hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki leolam chasto zot hakatana Nahama Rivka gedola tihiyeh. May God, who blessed Sarah and Rebecca, Rachel and Leah, Miriam the prophetess, Abigail and Esther the queen, bless this beloved child, and let her name be known in Israel as Nahama Rivka bat David Yitzchak ve'Elisheva Leah. May her name be known for good and for blessing. May her mother and father be privileged to see her grow in health, peace, and contentment. Give thanks to God for what is good, for covenantal love that endures forever. May this little child, Charlotte Reese Bracamontes, grow into womanhood as a blessing to her family, the Jewish people, and humanity. And now I'm going to recite word by word for you to repeat after me to welcome her into our community. Keshem, Shenichnesah, Labrit, Kain Tikanes, LeTorah, Ulechupa, Ulema'asim Tovim. As she has entered the covenant of our people, so may she grow into a life of Torah, marriage, and family joys and good deeds. And now I am going to ask Mom and Dad to take the Kiddush cup, and we bless happy moments, simchas, with wine, with sweetness, and I'll have them recite the blessing for the wine. Who else so that they can hear you? Yeah, come.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam borei pri hagafen.
Amen. And then drink. And then maybe Charlotte wants some. Yes. Yes. She says, give me more.
She does say that.
So, On happy occasions, on Simchas, we also thank God for the blessing of bringing us to this very moment, and I'll ask everyone to please join with me in the Shehachianu, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehachianu, V'kiyamanu, V'higianu, Lazman Hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of all creation, for granting us life, sustaining us, and bringing us to this sacred moment. Do you think that Charlotte will let me hold her for our final blessing? Yes. Okay. Hi, we are friends. So, we are going to pronounce upon her the very oldest blessing in the book. This is known as the priestly blessing, the blessing of the Kohanim. And it says here, yes, my love, it says, Yevarechacha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, may Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, may Adonai illumine your life with grace and favor. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom, may Adonai show you kindness and grant you fulfillment, completion, and peace. And we can all say to that, Amen. We have some presents for you. So, first of all, you like my necklace? Thank you. We have a little kippah so that you can wear it for future simchas. Yes? Yes, good. Okay, we have a bib that says that you are not a future Beth-El babe. You are a current Beth-El babe. Right? Because you're already enrolled in our early childhood. But there you go. Yes? What do you want? And we have a beautiful book called Adam and Eve's New Day by Rabbi Sandy. And yes, she likes it. She wants it. Said, Mommy, Daddy, read it to me tonight. And we have an official certificate that you were named here at Beth-El Tzedek. And we wish you lots and lots of mazel. Yes, give it to Mommy. She will read it to you tonight for bedtime. Okay? Yes. Beautiful baby. So we can all say Mazel Tov, and we are so happy to welcome this little baby into our community and happy to have you. Should we sing to you? Yes. Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov. Yehelanu, Yehelanu. Mazel Tov to the Bracamontes family and to the Sachs family. We are so happy to welcome Nechama Rivka. And with that, I will ask everybody to rise for the Shema on page 65. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meotecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinanta hamavanecha ve'dibarta bam ve'shivtecha bevetecha uvelechtecha b'derech ובשופך ובקומך וקשרתם נאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. And on page 73 we will join together in those words which we were just talking about. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי ויתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם באמת. You may be seated. We'll turn to page 79 as we join in our people's song of freedom, the same song that Moses, Miriam, and Aaron and all of the children of Israel sang at the moment of their crossing of the sea from bondage into their freedom. Mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh nora tehilot Osef ele malechut karau vanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam zelianu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלום יד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. At this moment, we will turn our hearts to those who are in need of a little extra thought, a little extra attention, those who are ill, to those who suffer pain of body or brokenness of spirit. We pray not only for those who are physically ill, but for all who suffer spiritual or emotional pain, those who face loss, and those who confront trials, anxiety, and disappointment. And so we'll join together in the words that are printed on the back of our leaflet for the Misha Berach, words that express our desire for a refuah shalema, a complete healing to those in need. And this Shabbat, we pray for those who are mentioned in our community: Shirley Steinman, Larry Baker, Levi Chisholm, Brian Donor, Amy Maurer Martin, Jane Bashir, Aaron Greenwald, Ron Safran, Ariel Shoshana Bat Esther Zelda, Sue Baker, Diane Marie Reisman, Andrew Whitson, Dan Stillerman, Freda Burns, Rory Sandberg, Herb Heller, Dr. Martin Tamler, Sandra Siegel, Freddie Kasef, Carol Tandy, Carl Goodfellow, Herschel Siegel, Bob Borns, Chuck Bader, Elliot Nelson, Dee Schwartz, Lila Miller, Ron Elberger, Bob Diskin, Sarah Bat-Miriam, Harvey Shapiro, Jonathan Ben-Meir, Martin Faust, Deetra Mills, Keith Matters, Mark Meyer, Lynn Mata, and all in our community and beyond who are coping with the consequences of the COVID virus in its various manifestations and mutations. We join together. Nisheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Turn to page 85 for the Shamru. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We rise and turn to page 87 for Chatzi Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקדושה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, ואמרו amen. We'll remain standing for our evening silent Amidah. If you would like to use the words of tradition, they begin on page 91. You can also add to those words the words of your heart. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. I'll invite everyone to remain standing. We are going to bless our wine, our Mei Kiddush, and we'll turn to page 119. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat chodsho b'yahava uvratzon, inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit. כי הוא יום התחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בקרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדיש השבת. Amen. L'chaim. On Shabbos. And we'll make both seats together so you can all, I'm sure, go off and enjoy a delicious dinner later. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha'otzi lechem min ha'aretz. Amen. I'll take my bite later. I'm ask you to remain for just another moment, and we are going to continue with Aleinu at the very bottom on page 121. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol atit gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam Elokeinu kahem vegor aleinu kechol hamonam ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ועומדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שירותי שמיים ויעשה את רצונו של הקדוש השמיים. מתחת אין אור כי נקבל לך אדוני נמנותנו ונתנו תסתכל. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד Ushemo echad. You may be seated. Mourners and those observing yahrzeit, in reciting the Kaddish, we affirm our awareness of holiness in our world. Much of our experience of divine goodness, grace, and love has come to us through those whose lives have touched our own. We'll join in the recitation of the Kaddish on page 131. We extend sincere condolences to Stacy Isaacs and family on the death of her beloved father, Larry Harrison. And we extend sincere sympathies to all of our bereaved families and members of our congregation who observe Shloshim, the month of mourning for Charlotte Rose Zuckerberg, Bibi Yosha Weinstein, and for all those who observe yahrzeit, or for those who have died at this time in years past. Yitkadal veyitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam ulalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony above make peace for us and for all Israel and for all who dwell on earth. And we say together, amen. Well, it is my pleasure to welcome our officer on the board, Dan Resnick, for some announcements.
Good evening. Shabbat Shalom. On behalf
Shabbat
of
Shalom.
the Board of Directors and Officers, my pleasure to welcome you to our Shabbat evening services. For those with us here physically, thank you for being here, and for those on the live stream, thank you for joining us. First, Mazel Tov on the baby naming of Charlotte Reese Bracamontes. It feels like yesterday that I was up here with my daughter, and so enjoy these moments. They go very quickly. I'd like to extend a Mazel Tov both to you, Elizabeth and David, also to your grandparents, Robin Sachs, Gary and Adele Sachs, Antonio and David Bracamontes, to your entire extended family who's here to join us today. Thank you, guys. A few announcements to call your attention to. Our sisterhood is baking challahs for the high holidays. We need all the volunteers and help that we can get. That will start here in a couple days and then go through July and August. If you're interested, please reach out to Cheryl Toof. We're going to have a very special Shabbat on Friday, July 1st at 6 p.m. We'll have our Star-Spangled Shabbat. So come to services and then enjoy an apple pie treat following the service. And then our Social Action Committee needs help making 120 brown bag lunches for the Wheeler Mission. That'll be Thursday, July 14th from 5:30 to 7:30. If you're interested in volunteering for that, please reach out to Amanda Siegel or Shira Winokur. They would very much appreciate your help. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Dan. And once again, a special Mazel Tov to the Bracamontes and Sachs family. We're just so happy to have everybody with us tonight. And for our closing song, we say Shabbat Shalom, which is blessings of peace and blessings of happiness as you go on your way. So we'll sing together. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Thank you for being with us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.